Hey guys, party time in Paris. PSG pulled off a stunning comeback to book their ticket to the next round of the Champions League. We head to Lisboa, to the Portuguese capital, to link up with Tancredi Palmieri with the latest on the Champions League, plus the latest on some insane transfer rumors. Cristiano Ronaldo's services offered to Barcelona. Yes, you heard that correctly. We're going to get the latest from Tank on that, plus Dybala potentially being shipped from Turin. Tancredi is going to give us all the deets. And then, of course, we're going to preview today's partidazo. Atletico Madrid taking on Leipzig. Can Atleti be the latest team to end their doom and gloom history in the Champions League? Sports First starts right now. Hey guys, this is a reminder that this is an interactive show, so drop a comment below and we'll get to those in just a bit. PSG with a late win, a stoppage time win against Atalanta to book their ticket to the Champions League semifinal in 25 years. The first time since 1995. What a moment for PSG. And on that note, I want to head straight to Lisboa, to the Portuguese capital, to link up with Tancredi Palmieri, who is standing by. Tancredi, you have witnessed this firsthand. You are in the middle of all of this insane atmosphere. What has this Champions League tournament been like, and what was last night like?
Well, boa tarde desde Estadio José Albalade, Gaby. Even if fans are not in Lisbon, because, well, they can come if they want, but they can't attend the game. But yesterday, for example, there were 50 Atalanta fans that traveled all the way from Bergamo just to cheer up the bus of their team for a few seconds before it entered the stadium. Even if, well, yesterday Atalanta provided to eat up the atmosphere in a proper way. I have to tell you, as you mentioned, it's a completely different thing. I've been to several World Cup, Euro, Copa America, Champions League finals. It was never something like this, because it's like there is huge curiosity in the city. They do talk a lot about the Champions League, but there is not that fever, well, even though probably that is not the right word to use in this age, but there is not that mood, because the two worlds live together, the city and the Champions League, and they can't not even touch, because, well, because obviously UEFA is protecting as much as possible in the bubble the athletes from the rest of the world. Yesterday, Atalanta PSG, there were some few fans standing outside Stadio da Luz, and they felt, even because I was told the whistles of the referees was clearly hearable, imagine, from the streets outside the stadium. That's unbelievable. There were people on the balcony that were listening to the screaming. It's 2020, guys. It's unbelievable. But Atalanta PSG is an instant classic, to be honest. As the remontada of Barcelona against PSG became an instant classic, as Juventus with the late penalty kick for Real Madrid when they tried the comeback. Not like the finals, but something minimum history of the Champions League. PSG finally finding at least the semi-finals, 25 years missing from that. The fairy tale of Atalanta, the Cinderella invited at the Royal Palace at the bottom of this Champions League, and they were supposed not to have not even the right boots for this ball, and they were actually that close. But too many things happening, the injury of Papu Gomez, Josip Ilicic that couldn't travel because of the mental issues after the coronavirus. It just wasn't meant to be, but it's staying. The great story, it is staying. You know, Atalanta is the team from Bergamo, the city hit the most by coronavirus. In Italy, one of the cities hit the most in the world. So representing the city, the community, was not just a whatever game. The way they played, even if they were outplayed in the end, is staying in the hearts and in the minds of people.
Right, and just like you said, it really was a fairy tale for Atalanta. Unfortunately, that fairy tale is over, but what a comeback from PSG. We're going to break down this match more with George Metalis in just a bit, but before we let you go, Tancredi, just like you said, you're standing outside of the Estádio José Alvalade Stadium. I know very well, home to my Sporting Clube de Portugal. Atleti going to take on Leipzig. Of course, PSG will face the winner of this match, but the big news today is not necessarily about the Champions League. It's a rumor coming from Guillem Balaguer, who has said that Cristiano Ronaldo has been offered to multiple clubs across Europe, across the world, because Juventus need to offload his wages, and one of those clubs was Barcelona. Give us the latest information on this, Tancredi.
You will not believe me, Gabi. I know you will not believe me, but I'm going to say it because he can confirm. Literally 10 seconds before we were going on air, Guillem, we are friends since a long time. Guillem just passed by here, and I tried to bring him on air, but he had other TV contacts, so obviously he couldn't come in. And we were discussing about the things he knows, the things I knew. Guillem, what I can tell you is he knows his things. He's not only an estimated journalist pretty everywhere in the world, but he knows what he's talking about. We are just in front of Alvalade, which is the stadium that had breathed Cristiano Ronaldo. He started here at Sporting. Say the situation, Gabi, with Cristiano is that he's not happy at all at Juventus. And not since yesterday, not since a week ago when they were eliminated by Lyon, since quite some months. I can date that back since November when he was substituted by Maurizio Sarri during Juventus-Milan, and Cristiano Ronaldo left not only the pitch, not only the team, left the stadium without saying anything, goodbye, anything to the teammates. From that moment it was armistice, but armistice doesn't mean exactly peace and love. So the thing is that Cristiano Ronaldo is unhappy and since a long time in Turin. But the problem is that Cristiano Ronaldo earns 31 million of euros per year. There are maybe, I don't know, 3-4 clubs in the world that can afford that wages, but there are surely no clubs that have inquired for him, considering that obstacle. There were no other clubs inquiring for him 2 years ago when he joined Juventus. The entourage of Cristiano Ronaldo tried to book Paris Saint-Germain, tried to book Manchester United, but it was just too much, 31 million euros. And now this is the situation now. And to be honest, I need to believe, I need to see it before believing it, that Cristiano Ronaldo is ready to cut his wages.
Yeah, and that is going to be the key to him being moved on, is he's going to have to cut those wages. I want to end this quickly because we are running out of time, Tancredi, but you have to answer this question, yes or no. Will Cristiano Ronaldo be a Barcelona player? Is your answer yes or no?
Big no, like José Alvalade Stadium.
Okay, sounds good, Tancredi. Thank you as always for all the information. Enjoy your stay in Lisboa. I'm sure we'll be touching base again soon. Time to bring in George Metalis. George, we just got the inside scoop from Tancredi Palmeri, who was, ironically, what a coincidence, just with Guillem Balaguer, who broke this news. What a piece of information that we got from Tancredi, him ensuring us that Guillem is someone who knows the ins and outs of the football industry. He is a Spanish football expert, and so if he is saying that there is a potential of Cristiano Ronaldo being offered to Barcelona, I mean, it's probably true. We'll get to that rumor in just a bit, but I want to talk about PSG with you, George. What a match. What a comeback inspired by none other than Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting. Your instant reaction.
Well, first of all, I got to say shout out to my boy Tancredi. That's my Pulp Fiction brother. So much love to Tancredi. He's Vincent, I'm Jules. That's what happened. That's the agreement we made when he came to Miami a few years ago. So big love, and much love to Tancredi. But yeah, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting was the difference in this game. Look, Mbappe came on in the 60th minute. They hadn't scored a goal. Choupo-Moting comes on in the 79th minute, the Cameroon international, and that indomitable lion, indomitable spirit helps PSG get 2 goals. He scores the game winner. He's the one that floated the ball in to Neymar, who squared the ball for Marquinhos for the first goal, and they win the game. A lot of people are talking about Neymar and Mbappe, but they're overlooking the fact that Choupo-Moting gets on the pitch and both goals are scored. He gets on, and you could see it instantly after his first few touches, that instantly he was much more influential, much more impactful in this game than Icardi, who came off and did absolutely nothing. So everybody's praising Neymar and Mbappe, but you really need to show the love to the Cameroon international, Eric-Maxime Choupo-Moting. He came on and the goals fell because of his play, period. I know Neymar had a great match throughout the whole 90 minutes, and Atalanta lost something when Papo Gomez was subbed off in the second half. But in the end, Eric-Maxime Choupo-Moting is the one that is the reason, he is the man, the reason why PSG are advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah, he is the reason, and that is why Neymar, when awarded with the MVP of the match trophy, he said, no, Choupo-Moting, come over here. This one's for you, because just like you said, the second that Choupo-Moting stepped onto the pitch for Icardi in the 80th minute, in those last 10 minutes, I mean, you had chance after chance after chance after chance for PSG, and that was really the story of the whole match. You spoke about Neymar's excellent performance. He did win MVP, and I want to talk about this, because there seems to be a reluctance to award Neymar any kind of praise, especially, you know, we talk a lot about the Twitter sphere, what people on Twitter say, and I mean, this is a polarizing topic. For me, Neymar had a sensational match. He did everything but finish, and sometimes players just have those type of matches where it just doesn't seem to hit the back of the net. But for me, Neymar was someone that did not stop, that kept going. He broke a record for most take-ons won in a Champions League match at 16. I mean, the man did everything, and there seems to be still this reluctance to say Neymar had a great match.
Yeah, it's because a lot of people out there are hating on Neymar. They need to just, drink some chocolate milk and relax. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Neymar had a great game. Look, you're right. He didn't finish his opportunities. But who else was creating chances? Who else? Before Eric-Maxime Choupo-Moting came on, or even before Mbappe came on, who else was creating chances and really threatening Atalanta? Nobody. And even when Mbappe came on, Neymar was still creating chances and opening things up for Mbappe. And then he was the one, he was involved in both goals as well, in the 2 goals that led them to the victory. So anybody to criticize Neymar for his performance because he didn't finish is ridiculous. It's, to me, he was magnificent. He was brilliant. He didn't finish his chances, but he was the only one. He showed something that I think a lot of fans of Brazil wanted to see. This excess kind of drive, this relentless, I think Thomas Tuchel used the word relentless mindset of, I am not going to let this team lose. Even if I can't finish the goals, I'm still going to run at defenders in the 85th minute and break down players and set up opportunities and take my chances when they arise. Sometimes that's what you need, and that's exactly what PSG needed in this game. He should have made it 1-0 early on with that one chance, but after that, you can't say he had a flawed performance. I think he was great, and people just need to back off him. There's something about Neymar people don't like, and they needed to soften their stance a little bit on this guy. He's one of the best in the world.
Absolutely, and he proved it last night. It took 149 seconds for Atalanta to go from 1-0 up to 2-1 down. Let's also remind people that Neymar was absent for the last 2 years for PSG during these crucial knockout rounds of the Champions League. He missed their tie 2 years ago against Real Madrid and then missed last year's against Manchester United. We all know the images of him standing on the touchline in shock. Well, guess what? Now it's shock for the other reason. And props to Neymar, props to Eric-Maxime Choupo-Moting. You spoke about Mbappe. Obviously, PSG are a different team with Mbappe. Did this match show you not only their reliance on Mbappe, but the likes of Verratti and Di Maria, who also weren't available, one injured, one suspended, and how key those 2 players are?
He's very good with free kicks. He's good at cutting in, scoring with his left leg, with his left foot. So he's a very important player, and they missed him. They missed him in this game. Eric-Maxime Choupo-Moting did for PSG in this game what Di Maria usually does for Les Rouges et Bleus throughout the season when he's in the starting lineup. That's how important he is. He sets it off for Mbappe. He helps Neymar out a little bit also as well. He has some pace down the right side. He likes to be on the right side most of the time. So I think that Di Maria's loss was very evident, very clear in this game. Verratti is important in that midfield also because they generated nothing in the middle of the pitch from a deep line playmaking perspective. So they need Verratti. But Di Maria, they really missed him. And it's good to see that he'll be back for this semifinal.
A lot of people in our comment section, I want to hit the comment section because the show is about you guys after all. Mosadi saying, I believe Atalanta showed that PSG could be beaten. If PSG plays Atletico, Bayern, or City, they will lose, and they will lose big. A lot of people asking who PSG will play next. They will play the winner of today's match, Atletico Madrid versus Leipzig. We'll preview that match in just a minute. But was this PSG performance convincing for you, George, or was it more worrisome than anything else? For me, it was convincing. They pulled off a late win. They believed until the final moments. We saw the camaraderie of this team yet again. And they did it without the likes of Verratti, Di Maria, and Mbappe from the start. So for me, it just proves that PSG are even stronger than I thought.
Yeah, they're much stronger mentally than the last two seasons, that's for sure. I think if you're a PSG fan, you have to be worried about the performances against Lyon and Saint-Etienne. Those were the performances that you could say exposed PSG more than Atalanta. So to me, those are the two games that if you're a PSG fan or if you are, let's say Atleti get through or whoever they play next, you look at the film of the Saint-Etienne and Lyon game to figure out how to break down PSG more than Atalanta. Those are the two. So I would look at it from that perspective. But this is a mentally stronger team than the last two seasons. That certainly is for sure. And look, let's be honest. It helped that it's only a one-off. If it was two legs, one in Bergamo and one in Paris, it might be a different story. It might go their way and they'd be more dominant, or it might not. You never know. But that one-off certainly helps PSG, and I like the mental fortitude they had in this game. They never gave up, and Neymar was the leader in terms of that relentless mentality.
Spot on, George. Neymar after the match saying, I knew because of the group that we have, the great family we have made, it was impossible that we were going to be knocked out. Well, they fought until the end, and PSG have booked their ticket to the Champions League semifinal for the first time in 25 years. And I'm not just excited because I remind you all, I picked PSG to go all the way. Way back in September, so I'm still alive. But they will face a tough task, whether that'll be Atletico Madrid or whether it'll be Red Bull Leipzig in the next round. You speak about this one-off format benefiting certain teams. Leipzig have to like this one-off format. Julian Nagelsmann has said that this format benefits them. Do you think, do you agree it benefits the smaller teams or maybe the ones that couldn't pull it off across two legs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because we all know this is going to be a very old, boring sports cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway, even though I hate cliches. Anything can happen in one game. In one game, anything can happen. You could see a team have 15, 16 shots. They'll have 70% possession, and then they lose 1-0. We know that can happen. It happens a lot. So in one game perspective, these smaller teams, they have a chance. Red Bull Leipzig have a very good chance. I know they're missing Timo Werner, but they have a chance in this one-off scenario. The problem is Atleti is not a team that concedes goals. They are going to be very solid defensively, very organized, so that's going to be hard for Red Bull Leipzig to break down. But he makes a great point. One game, anything can happen.
Yeah, I do want to give you guys some fun facts about this match. This is the first ever competitive meeting between Atletico Madrid and Red Bull Leipzig. It's Leipzig's first time in the Champions League knockout rounds. Both of these teams coming off of huge wins in the round of 16. Leipzig knocked out Tottenham, and of course, Atletico Madrid did the deed at Anfield, knocking reigning champions Liverpool out of the competition. Atletico are unbeaten in 18 matches across all competitions, while Leipzig haven't played a competitive match since June. So perhaps a bit of a disadvantage. George, you spoke about the fact that Timo Werner is no longer on the squad. Of course, he made a move to Chelsea July 1st, so he is no longer a Red Bull Leipzig player. But this is just an opportunity for players, like Julian Nagelsmann said, players who didn't get the opportunity when Timo Werner was on the squad to get the opportunity. And I'm looking at the likes of a young Youssef Poulsen, a man who is 26 years old, not so young anymore, but he has risen with Leipzig through their entire journey from the third division all the way up to the Champions League quarterfinals. What a story. Do you expect Leipzig to still be a danger for Atletico Madrid?
Oh, absolutely. At this point of the tournament, it doesn't matter what the club's reputation is or how quote unquote small the history of the club is. They're going to be a threat, and especially in a one-off situation. It's like Wyclef Jean on the Carnival. He has a song called "Anything Can Happen." So, I mean, anything can happen. They have Christopher Nkunku, who's double digits on loan from PSG. Emil Forsberg, double digits in goals and across all competitions. There was another player who's a second leading goal scorer behind Timo Werner, whose name
Marcel
I can't think of right now.
Sabitzer. Yes.
Sabitzer, there we go. He was second in all competitions behind Timo Werner in terms of goals. So they still have some good attacking players that can cause Atleti problems. And I think that's going to be something to watch. Nagelsmann has one of the young coaches that is rising, who a lot of people are praising for his tactical ability and adjustment. So he could give Cholo Simeone some problems on the pitch. This is going to be a fascinating matchup. And I think if you're an Atleti fan and you think, oh, Red Bull Leipzig, they don't have much of a history, or they don't have much of a cachet in world football. If you think it's going to be easy, it's not. I think Atleti will win, but it's going to be very tight.
It is going to be tight, and just like you said, Julian Nagelsmann made history during his time at Hoffenheim for being the youngest ever permanent coach in the Bundesliga. Back then, he was only 28 years old. He's now just 33. He has a fascinating story. For those of you that have some more time, I'm not going to walk you through his whole bio here, but this is a man who was injured at 20 years old, couldn't play soccer anymore. He was playing for Augsburg's second team. His coach was Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel said, no, you're going to be my scout. You're going to work on helping me scout our future opponents. And that is how this manager's career was born. This is a man that was once linked with the Real Madrid job. Do some homework, do some research on Julian Nagelsmann, because it's a fascinating read. And just like you said, George, this is a team that has a lot of options. You listed them off. Sabitzer's actually Leipzig's top scorer in the Champions League with 4 goals and 2 assists, 1 more assist than Timo Werner was able to provide. So this is definitely not a team out of the running by any means. So more Champions League action coming your way. Let's hop on the transfer train, because we have the 3-minute warning. I don't know how this show seems to go by faster and faster each and every day. Cristiano Ronaldo linked with a move to Barcelona today. George, your take on that?
Oh, I think it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No. But you know what, though? Part of me would love to see it. It's like, no. It's like if somebody asked me, George, what size shoe do you wear? Size 10 shoe? I'm like, no, it's too small. No. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it, though. I would love to see him play with Messi at Barcelona. Madrid fans, Madridistas, would hate it, of course. But as someone who's a neutral, I think it would be sweet. I think he's only going to go to 2 places, really. PSG, and he'll take a pay cut and finish his career with Sporting, where it all started. That's why I kind of foresee his next few years, yeah.
Interestingly enough, so Guillaume Balaguer, his whole story is that Jorge Mendes has been working now for 6 months trying to offload Cristiano Ronaldo from Juventus. We just heard from Tancredi, who revealed to us that Cristiano has been unhappy at Juve for some time. Now, of course, we don't know him personally. These are all reports. But Jorge Mendes has offered him to the likes of PSG, offered him to some MLS clubs, offered him now to Barcelona. Of course, Manchester United always in the conversation. To me, what's interesting, George, is not even, the hypothetical of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo playing together, which just blows my mind and would probably make Antoine Griezmann cry in the dressing room, because he's like, great, another player to compete with for my starting 11 spot. But it's the wages. Barcelona already have the highest wages in world football. So how on earth are they going to afford to pay Cristiano Ronaldo?
They can't, and they won't, because he'll never play for them. But I think they'd have to sell the naming rights to the stadium. They'd have to sell off a couple of players. Maybe Lionel Messi, they can create a Barcelona perfume like they have a Real Madrid cologne, and then use the sales of that to fund the transfer. I have no idea, but it would never happen. But I would like to see a billion-dollar investor, maybe Stephen Ross of the Miami Dolphins, say, hey, Inter Miami, I'll fund Cristiano Ronaldo coming to South Florida playing for Inter Miami. I would love to see that. I know that's fantasy football, but I would love to see that.
No, that's fantastic fantasy football. Speaking of Inter Miami, Matuidi's transfer to South Florida to the Miami club is official. It's a free transfer, 33 years old. He won 21 trophies at the club level with Juventus and PSG, obviously won the World Cup. This is a high caliber player. One thing to note, that he is not one of Inter Miami's 3 designated players, so they can still get another mega money transfer, maybe that striker, that South American striker that everyone wants to see, and we'll keep you guys posted on that. Another day of Champions League action. We'll be back tomorrow with Ray Hudson to break down today's matches, preview Barcelona, preview everything. Manchester City, Lyon on Saturday. The fun doesn't end. Thanks for joining us, guys. Ciao, ciao.